Okay, so I'm going to eat during this video. So if you're new to my channel, definitely know I'm going to eat. I got a black bean burger and some grilled sweet corn. That's good. This video is a message to every kid, teenager, young adult that's going back to school this fall. Or any fall. It's timeless, to be honest. Um, but today is August 4th, 2021. And I just want to say to the younger kids that's going to school, especially if it's like elementary school, middle school, I just want you guys to know that don't hold your head down for anybody. There will be bullies, and there will be the kids that are popular, and there will be the kids that are smarter than everybody else. But don't hold your head down for nobody. Be yourself, and it is okay to be yourself. If someone tries to bully you, first of all, tell on them. Super simple. Tell on them. You will learn in life. All you have to do is tell an authoritative figure when something is going on that you don't like, because we all have rights as human beings, and we shouldn't be getting touched, we shouldn't be getting spoken down to, and we shouldn't be getting bullied at all, period. And if your school isn't helping you, go to the higher ups above your school. Really, I'm telling you, that's the best thing I ever learned in life, is that you do not have to deal with anybody's BS. And if you feel like something is wrong, it probably is something wrong. And if you're not getting the help you need, go to the people that's in charge of whoever you're telling. Simple. And also, while we're on the bullying spectrum, if a kid is bullying you and they're calling you names like you're ugly or something like that, you stink, anything like that, I'm not gonna lie, if they say you stink, then you ain't gotta like admit to them that, okay, you might stink. But if they're telling you you stink, 9 times out of 10 you might have a little bit of a smell, but that's easily like fixable. Just, make sure you get in the shower, and make sure you wash up correctly, and make sure you brush your teeth in the morning, wash your face, put deodorant on. And if you can't do that at home, trust me, if you go to school, well, it depends where you live at, but usually when you go to school, if you're having trouble with that, you can go to the school officials like your guidance counselor or anybody, and they will help you. And don't be embarrassed if you have to do that, because you would rather get the help that you need instead of not having the help that you need. It's nothing wrong with asking for help. And also, while we're on the spectrum of guidance counselors, if your school has a guidance counselor and you are a person who needs guidance, make sure you get acquainted with them and make sure you use that opportunity to your advantage. It's nothing wrong with that either. And also, if someone calls you ugly, 9 times out of 10, you're really cute and they're just jealous. And then that other one time, they're just bothered by you, so they're going to say something to make you feel some type of way. So if anybody calls you ugly, don't listen to them, because I see ugly people all the time, and it doesn't make me want to say, hey, you're ugly. So if they're voicing the fact that they think you're ugly, you're not ugly. Either they're mad, or they're jealous, or envious, or you're cute. That's it. Especially if you're a girl. If another girl keeps calling you ugly, that means her boyfriend likes you. The guy she likes you and thinks you're cute. So don't listen to them. And do your homework. It is nothing wrong with doing your homework. Do your homework in class. To be honest, if you don't want to go home and have to do your homework at school during your lunch period. Especially if you don't sit by nobody at lunch that, you talk to or anything. Just do your homework. Mind your business. Trust me, the friends that you make in high school and in any grade below high school especially, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be your friends in the transition to real life. You might click back up with them after you find your place in the real world, but when high school is over, when school is over, when summer hits and all that kind of stuff, y'all was only friends because y'all group together like during the day. That's it. So don't get too attached. Don't get too attached to anything with school, actually. That's in your best interest. Another thing for kids who are going into high school for the first year, so all of the ninth graders, the freshmen, to the females, because I'm a female, make sure y'all have y'all backup kits for your hygiene. Like, you got a small deodorant in your book bag or in your locker. You got pads. I don't know if you use tampons, then put the tampons in your thing too. But I don't use tampons, so I never had that. But definitely put you some panty liners and some pads in your locker and your book bag, probably in your locker. And probably have like a little Ziploc bag, like not Ziploc bag, but like a little pencil bag that you can't see through, and put your hygiene stuff in there, and actually sneak a pair of extra panties in there just in case, something crazy happens. Especially if you haven't started your period yet, because you don't want to start your period and not be prepared. And if you're a guy, I'm not a guy, but you definitely need to go put some deodorant up in your locker, mister. Because as soon as you get from gym, you're going to be smelling like either a wet dog or Burger King. So, yeah, put you some what's that called? What's the guy, deodorant called? Speed Stick or something like that? No, I think that's the girl one. Anyway, get you some deodorant and put that in your locker. The gel kind. Nah, I don't know. The gel kind. If you get the gel kind, get the greenish bluish color one. And if you get the powder kind, get the Under Armour kind. The one in the yellow. Yeah. And girls, I would recommend don't get Dove. Even though if you like Dove, then yeah, do Dove. But the one that's purple is good, which I think that's probably called Speed Stick, Lady Speed Stick. Suave is good. Powder. Powder is the best smell for females for school. Do powder. Sweet pea is okay. Sunset, all of that kind of stuff is okay, but do powder. That is the best smell for armpits, in my opinion. It is best, especially when you start high school, for you to have like a snack. Always have some gum, especially if you're a female. Keep your chapstick in your book bag. Keep your gum in your book bag. Have you a snack every day when you come to school. A water bottle. Stuff like that. What else did I have when I was in school for high school? Oh, when you in high school, also get you a purse. If you are a female entering high school and you don't have a purse yet, get you a purse. You have to play around and figure out what size purse you like, because you got the big ones where you can put your notes in, you can put your Folgers and stuff in, or get your like actual purse, like a crossbody one, and just put your other stuff in there, like your lip gloss, chapstick, small stuff, gum, stuff like that. Always be prepared. So always have your notebook, and always have sticky notes, and always have a pen in your purse and your book bag close to you. And if you're a guy, then make sure you got your... Guys are so minimum. Make sure you have your pencil every day for school. Because there is no way you should be going to school and you don't either have paper or a pencil. Those are the two things you need for school. I remember when I was in Gary and I was at school, like, it was so many people that didn't have a notebook, no piece of paper, and no pencil. Steady asking me, can I get a piece of paper? You got an extra pencil? I'm like, yes, I do, because I most definitely came super prepared, so you can have it. But why don't you have a piece of paper, a notebook, let alone in a pencil or a pen? You in school. But, I don't know what was going on. Yeah. I don't know what was going on in that town, to be honest. Like, it's just very different than what I was used to. Definitely wouldn't put my kids in a school like that. School system. That's how I knew I wasn't going to stay in that town too long. But, yes, so we're going to touch on bullying again and friendships again. Do not let your friends and let the situations that happen that can be personal in school mess with your academics, especially if you just now are in high school. High school is very different than middle school and all of that because now you have permanent grades and you got a GPA. It's very important for you to keep your GPA up. Do not fail a class, even if you get the bare minimum of a C. Do not get a D as your ending grade. Do not get an F. And if you need extra help, get some tutoring. Ask the teacher for more help. Like, open your mouth. School is very important. The last 4 years until you get to college or whatever, so ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, it is important. When you're doing it, it feels like it's not that important. And to be honest, by 11th grade and 12th grade, you're going to be like, I just want to drop out, even though you really at the finish line. Don't do that. Make sure you graduate and make sure you have at least a 2.5 GPA, which means that you got A's, B's, and C's. So if you get all C's, that's kind of bad. So don't get all C's, but it's okay if you get C's. Just make sure your GPA is 2.5 at least. Make sure you're taking your notes correctly. And if I was you, I would color code it, underline it. Like, note taking is very important, and having organization in your notes is very important. So when you're doing vocabulary for your notes, underline the word, highlight the word, like, use a pen instead of a pencil when you take your notes, unless you mess up a lot. If you're the type of person that mess up a lot, then you just gonna have to use the pencil, because you don't want no scribbles all over your page and stuff, because that's gonna trick your mind even more. And to be honest, I might make a video of how to take notes for real, because there's specific ways that you can take notes to make sure that you learning stuff and not just either memorizing or just taking notes, not even memorizing nothing. Because, like I'm saying, the last 4 years, they do count. They do mean something in the future. So don't slack off and don't get into the all high school drama type stuff. Like, it's not that serious. It's gonna feel really like detrimental to your existence because you're going through that. But think about who you want to be when you're 25. Who do you want to be when you're 30? Do not let high school trick you into becoming something that you know you do not want to be. You don't want to be the crackhead of the friend group. You don't want to be the drug addict, the alcoholic of the friend group. It ain't that serious. You don't want to be the loser of the friend group. And by that, I mean you ain't doing nothing with your life. So make sure you really thinking, like, who do I want to be? When people look at you, who do you want them to see you as? You want them to see you as the girl who's gonna be like a supermodel, the girl who's gonna be like a businesswoman, the boy who's gonna be like an engineer, the boy who's gonna be like a welder, or you want them to see you as the girl who's gonna be, I don't know, lame, like the girl who dropped out, the girl who, even though it's nothing wrong, I'm not going to say that dropping out means that it's over for you, because if you an entrepreneur, if you the type of person that really got ideas in your head, you can make a business work, you could do all of that, then I encourage you to do that, because that is the biggest goal, is to be your own boss. But you need to have experience, so that's why school and college and all that kind of stuff is important. But if you feel like you got it already, then do you. But you don't want to be seen as the one, yeah, she ain't gonna be nothing, he ain't gonna be nothing, like, they ain't even doing nothing right now, like, they slacking off all the time. They don't even motivate the friend group, like, they don't even like you can't look up to them. Be a person who other people can look up to. Because if you in high school, you technically are getting looked up to by other kids. Especially if you got younger siblings. Make sure you graduate. Rather you graduating with the bare minimum or you graduating top of the class. Make sure you don't fail. Make sure you don't get D's and F's. And make sure you graduate. Finish it. And if you got to stay to yourself to get out of the drama of high school, stay to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Because trust me, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth fighting, doing nothing crazy, especially not over no boys, no girls, no back and forth stuff. Because they all cheating. They all cheat. Don't play. They all cheat. And if you a little kid, though, if you a little kid, like you still get recess, which is so funny to me because it feels like not too long ago that I was getting recess. But make sure you, as the middle schooler, elementary type of kid, make sure you are paying attention to your subjects so you can know what you're good at and what you're not good at. Because what you're good at is whatever you get pulled to. But whatever you're not good at, that is what you need to focus on to get better at. So if you're already good at something, then probably 9 times out of 10, that's what your future career is going to be about. So keep that in mind. But also, it's important for you to get better at the things that you're not good at. Because by the time you get in high school, you can't be getting D's and F's. Like I was just saying about the high school kids. You can't be getting D's and F's. You want a 2.5 GPA, at least. And life get hard. So you don't want to drop out. And you don't want to not go to college. Now, if you take 1 or 2 or 3 gap years, then, find yourself and do you and figure out what you really want to do and all that kind of stuff. And then go back to school and hit the ground running. Because at the moment, that's what I did. I took a gap year because 2020, I graduated in 2020 for high school. And, pandemic, all that kind of stuff. So, it was crazy. So, I took a full gap year. And it's about to be fall. School about to start back up. And either I'm going to start in January or I'm going to start back in the fall or spring or something like that. But I'm not pushing myself to start nothing that I feel like I'm not ready for. Because when I go to school, I'm going to hit the ground running and I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go to school and be in there for a long time. And a BICCA is going to be at the top of whatever she decides to do. Because I'm not picking nothing that I'm not good at, that I'm not going to be exceeding at. I want to be at the top of whatever I do. But yes, it's very important. School is very important. You can never get enough education. Because the world on its own, it's not, you got to be a special type of person to get the world on its own. So, I'm going to just say, 9 times out of 10, you need to keep going to school. You need to keep learning stuff through experiencing things with other people. Like, personally, I cannot wait to go to college and, to do the school stuff again. But at the same time, I figured that for me personally, having my own foundation and having a little setup before I go to school was important to me. So that's another thing. So if this is your last year, so if you're a senior, don't be afraid to take a gap year and don't be afraid to do something that your family wouldn't approve of, probably. So if you have a special interest and your family wouldn't approve of you or don't want you to go that path, don't let nobody else dictate your life, because your happiness is going to dictate your life. If you're not happy, it's going to be horrible. You don't want to be miserable for the rest of your life, so don't let other people pick what you're doing, cuz you're going to be miserable. And then you're going to do what they want you to do and be miserable, and then they're not going to be a part of your misery. So then you're going to have to start over and get back on track with what you want, and it's going to be way harder the second time. No, actually, it's going to be kind of easy the second time because you're going to have more of an idea of what you want because you're going to know what you don't want. But it's going to be taking longer, so it's like, it's going to be like frustrating because it took longer. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say. I just wanted to give some advice a little bit for back to school. Stay organized, stay positive, and stay out of the drama. Really.